Quang quang quang! Quang 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 quang! Breaking news.
Pax Christi Nigerian Catholics. Now, the Catholic Diocese of Lokoja has officially issued a decree from the office of the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Lokoja, ordering the withdrawal of the diaconate ordination certificates and the suspension of all faculties of 4 deacons that were ordained by His Excellency Most Reverend Dr. Martin Dada Abejide Olorunmolu, the Catholic Bishop of Lokoja. You would recall that on the 12th of July 2024, His Excellency had ordained them, these men, at the request of one Reverend Father Stephen Obioma Mwigwe, who presented himself to the bishop as the Superior General of a religious institute called the Paraclete Missionaries. The bishop, however, in a letter stated that he was deceived and was given pieces of false information by the so-called Superior General, Father Stephen Obioma Mwigwe. He was presented with falsified documents to make some claims which turned out to be false. Father Stephen Obioma Mwigwe showed the bishop a forged document to claim that the Paraclete missionaries were properly erected as a religious institute. However, the bishop found out that the decree of ecclesiastical approbation of the missionaries of Jesus the Savior, also known as Joselites, based in Morogoro Diocese, Tanzania, East Africa, was used by Father Wigwe to produce a forged decree of ecclesiastical approbation for the Paraclete missionaries by replacing the true name Missionaries of Jesus the Savior on it with the name Paraclete Missionaries. The bishop's decree further went on to say, and I quote, "The 4 men who were presented falsely to me for the said diaconate ordination were 1. Aloysius Kubiatabasi Ebong, 2. Francis Mario Daudu, 3. Nkemeka Charles Chukwudi, and 4. Emmanuel Chukudum Eze." Shortly after the diaconate ordination ceremony, it was discovered that before the ordination took place, one of the candidates in the person of Aloysius Kubiata Basi Ebong had been parading himself at the military barracks in Lokoja as a Catholic priest and had even been celebrating masses. On account of so much falsehood about the said diaconate ordination, I hereby decree that 1. The diaconate ordination certificates issued by me to the 4 men named above are hereby withdrawn with immediate effect. They are not to be recognized by any ecclesiastical authority or any other authorities, including civil ones. 2. All faculties inherent in their office as deacons are hereby suspended with immediate effect. It is hoped that further actions will be taken by Rome on this matter as a follow-up to my report on it, given at the Catholic Bishop's Office, Lokoja, Kogi State, on the 29th day of July 2024. End of quote. This decree was signed by Most Reverend Dr. Martin Dada Abejide Olorunmolu, Catholic Bishop of Lokoja, and Reverend Father Augustine O. Okafor, Chancellor and the Notary. Now, a lot of Catholics had raised some allegations concerning why the bishop could make such a very grave mistake. One of them was that the Catholic Diocese of Lokoja is short on funds to train seminarians. So it adopts other seminarians who have issues from other dioceses and ordains them as deacons and ultimately as Catholic priests. However, this is just an allegation. I think this incident brings to the fore the statements that we shared about what the church has become. This statement that was made by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie about what the Catholic Church in Nigeria is gradually becoming.
About 2 years ago, I gave a press interview in which I said that the Catholic Church in Nigeria had become too much about money. Any honest-minded person knows this is true. It is flagrantly, self-evidently true in so many churches all over this country.
This focus about money, this focus and craze about wealth and luxury and the soft life. Don't you think this is possibly the reason why people are becoming desperate to wanting to become priests? This desperation about being a reverend father or a reverend sister is because a lot of people begin to see the Catholic priesthood as an escape from poverty. Oh, become a Catholic priest and all your financial problems are solved. Or become a Catholic religious or become a Catholic reverend sister and you will never lack anything in your life. These young people, these young men, these young boys and young girls see some kind of opulence, respect, and perhaps undue honor that is poured on these men and women who eventually become Catholic priests and religious. And then they think to themselves, hey, perhaps my way of cashing out, perhaps my way of escaping poverty, perhaps my way of becoming an influencer is to become a Catholic priest. A lot needs to change. There has to be some kind of reorientation. And it has to start from our parishes. It has to start from our homes. And it has to start from the way our Catholic priests and our religious live their lives. Do they say one thing and practice another? Do they say a lot about service to God and service to humanity? But then what we see them do with their lives, what we see them flaunt and showcase, is the exact opposite of what they speak with their lips. We need to have some kind of reorientation. Vocations programs, we need to carry them out in our various dioceses, in our various parishes, to enlighten our young people, to stop seeing the Catholic priesthood as their way out of poverty. Sadly and unfortunately, we are living in a country where entrepreneurship is not encouraged. A young boy or a young girl leaves the university and begins to struggle to get a job. No one is taught about how to handle money. They're not taught in the schools how to become problem solvers. They are rather encouraged to chase after money, to join the rat race, if you like. They're not taught how to become entrepreneurial in their thinking. They're not taught life skills that can empower them financially. So they begin to see the priesthood as the way out. They begin to see the religious life as the way out. However, that's not supposed to be. The priesthood and the religious life is a life of sacrifice. It's a self-giving, an outpouring of oneself for the life of the church, for the life of one's brother and sister. It is supposed to be selfless, not selfish. But perhaps they see in our Catholic priesthood, they see in our religious the exact opposite of what it was supposed to be in the first place. So perhaps this inordinate wealth gathering and unnecessary showcase of wealth and luxury and all of that. Perhaps this is what makes these men so desperate to become priests that they are ready to do anything, even to the point of deceiving a bishop so that they can wear a chasuble in public. Hopefully this sends a very strong message, not just to this Catholic diocese, the diocese that has been affected by this, but to all the dioceses of this country, Nigeria. That the country don't ready. And a lot needs to be done. Otherwise, our seminaries will be filled, that is, if they are not already filled, with men and women who are in the seminary, that's for the men, and in the convents for the women, who are there for the wrong reasons, who are there to amass wealth, who are there to steal from the sheep, who are there to steal from the flock, who are wolves rather than shepherds of God's people. The Diocese of Lokoja and all our formators and all our bishops, we really need to sit up. Otherwise, we'll keep laying hands on people, ordaining men, consecrating women who have no business being priests and who have no business being religious. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your bell notifications so you can be in the know of when we release new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.